Hey, Brad Burud here with Flames Unfiltered. Time for another Flames Unfiltered shorts. And things have not been easy for the Calgary Flames this year. As a matter of fact, it's probably been one of the more disappointing years that I can remember. Last year, career years from 80% of the roster. Clutch wins, Vezina goaltending. Hell, everything fell into our hands, into our play. It was just that year. And now this year, it's virtually the exact opposite. The season started with ridiculously high expectations, and for myself, I picked us to win the Stanley Cup. I've never done that before, and quite honestly, probably will never do that again in my lifetime. I wasn't the only one, but it's a frustrating thing. You look at this team on paper and it looks amazing. I've said that before in Calgary, and it turned out similar to this. This season started with a flurry of wins, and that even boosted our expectations higher and boosted our confidence higher. And then it just seemed like things changed. And they kind of changed with the clink of the post. This team has hit more posts than any other team in the National Hockey League. Career years, Dylan Dubé is the only one that comes to mind for me. Last year we had a plethora of career years. We knew we weren't going to be able to do that again. But, you thought you'd get some progression. Maybe not career years, but progression, right? Lucic. The curse of Milan Lucic. He's so slow out there. Can't score, can't do anything. It's his final year. Thank God. But the fact is he's overplayed. He's utilized incorrectly. And the Daryl Sutter controversy. We've dealt with that this year. I've always been the biggest fan of Daryl Sutter, and I have a hard time not going to bat for him right now. I don't. I have a hard time. It pains me to say that I'm frustrated with what we've dealt with this year. From his resistance to play young players or give them a chance, which is changed and improved, to his smart-ass remarks in the media, which I used to look forward to his press conferences because they were so engaging and brutally honest, and I liked that. But I don't feel like I feel like they're more head games now than brutally honest. I don't like that. I don't think that helps the situation that we're in right now, and I don't know, it frustrates me, and it sucks because I'm the biggest Daryl Sutter fan. I think he's a great coach. I'm afraid he's lost the room. I hate saying that, but I honestly do believe that I'm afraid that he's lost the room. And it's also, I'm not stupid. It's easy to love your coach when you're winning. Last year we were winning. We loved our coach, right? I mean, it's easy. Winning teams love their coaches. Losing teams hate their coaches. Ask Vancouver, right? We get Huberdeau and we get Uyghur, and we expect them to step right in, blend right in, and fire off 115 points and be a Norris candidate. Probably not fair, huh? I think Huberdeau's been great lately. Points aren't happening for him, and I don't know why. People say, well, we need a different coach, and that'll change how Huberdeau's will do. I don't know, man. I don't know. I do think he will be there, and I do hope, and I wish this fan base would give him a little bit more support and a little bit more time. We got him for a long haul. It's not going anywhere, guys. Let's work with him, man. Let's not work against him. Weegar, I don't know. Our expectations are probably overinflated. I think he's been fine. I think he could be better, but goodness, like, really? What do we expect, right? Tanev, when we got him from Vancouver, one of my good buddies says, "Oh, you can have him. He's hurt all the time." I said, "Well, he's a stalwart defenseman, and we didn't have that problem until the playoffs last year. And sadly, since he went down, it's kind of been one thing after another." Jacob Markstrom, he's completely out of whack. Vezina candidate last year. But since the middle half of last year, and, he was good in the Dallas series, but the Edmonton series, he was awful. And this year, quite honestly, from the get-go, he's been awful. I can't even sugarcoat that. I can't even say he's been struggling. It's not struggling. He just hasn't been good at all. I thought our bright spot was Dan Vladar, and Thursday night, tonight against Detroit, gets that opportunity. I think he was actually, for the first time, getting that, hey, we can't trust Markstrom. You need to be our guy. And he lets us down. The point I'm trying to get at is just, is it okay for us to just say it's not our year? Is that possible? Is that something that's feasible? Is this team better than it's playing? It's just not our year. I don't know. It sounds like a cop-out excuse to me, but is that the case? The point this year where I was like, man, it's just not our year, is when I see Rasmus Anderson hit by a car. Like, how the hell does that happen? And how bad of luck is your team having when you're reading tweets about your player, one of your best players, getting hit by a car? That sums up the year. It totally sums up the year. And it hasn't been a fun year in Calgary. It's not fun for the players playing the games. It's not fun to be at the rink for the players. You can tell. They're not having fun. And when you're not having fun, you're not winning hockey. I swear it goes hand in hand. Tell me a team that's struggling and not having fun that turns it. Winning's fun. When you're not winning, it's no fun. But this team's got to just have fun and play now. See what happens. It's not fun for the media to be at the rink. It's not fun for the players to hang out at the rink, the wives to be at the rink. It's not fun watching a game at the Saddle Dome right now. Look at these last two defeats we've had at home. It's not fun watching this team on TV. It's not fun covering this team, and it gets to be kind of a grind to talk about this team every week. I love doing the pod, but it's a grind right now, and it's negative. I hate that. Will this team turn it around this year? I don't know. Probably not. Is that negative of me to say and bad of me to say? Probably not. It sure doesn't look like it. I'm not seeing any signs of like righting the ship here. I know you can't win hockey games if you don't get saves. And I know you can't win hockey games if you don't get your superstar players to produce. Neither one of those are happening. I don't see it happening. I don't think we should sell the farm or anything like that. I think it's too hard where we're at with this organization. It just might not be one. It just might be one of those years. It's just not your year in Calgary. And we hope we bounce back, right? That's all we can do is hope, right? And support and cheer. Speaking of supporting, thank you everybody that listens to Flames Unfiltered. Kyle and I really enjoy doing this every week. Check Kyle and I out both on Twitter at Brad Burud and at VanLewis14. We record a show every Wednesday. Comes out on Thursday. Got a new one coming out next week. I'm sure we'll have lots to talk about. Well, Flames fans, it just might not be our year.